Hello everybody, yeah, as you can see this is the day I was because I had a sore head, so I didn't film the last one, this review at whatever time I would usually do this at. But that's a quick disclaimer out of the way. This is my review for Series 9 Episode X, or Zero Review American Last Christmas, which is day 11 of these festive uploads. Well, that's actually, I'm pretty surprised I've got all of those done. So we can get these all done. Ooh, so close. Ooh. Try and get this as quick as I can. And the plot is, it's not a big, clever plot. It's a plot that's there, but it's not too big and complicated. So basically the plot is, there's these researchers at the North Pole, a scientific base, and they're these dream camps, and they are analysing them, and basically there's all these dreams and they're trying to get out of them to try and stop, because these people have found that the dream camps have got latched onto them, and there could be many more around the world, but we only know 4 initially, but then it comes out that there's some plots, things along the way. Anyway, the Santa, because this is actually a dream, Santa goes through the dreams to try and, he's not really there, he's mind telling them this is not real, wake up, to try and get out of all these levels of dreams. It's not like it's just one dream, say there's maybe 2 or 3 till the end, and then there's a couple more for the Doctor and Clara. Yeah, so that's basically the plot. They're just trying to stop the dream camps from invading Earth, even though they're already there. That is pretty much the plot. The only other plot point I can think of is that after this, the last dream level, like, only one of them dies in the episode, which is sad. Yeah, but there was an extra dream level with the Doctor and Clara, because the Doctor thought she had aged 62 years since he had last seen her, but that isn't the case. That was another dream, and then after they woke up in that dream, the Doctor offered her to come with him again and travel in TARDIS, and that is the plot. Yeah, it's a very brief plot. So yeah, there's not much to really talk about, apart from the only other part I can think of the plot that's important is that in one of the dreams, Clara's first dream, I'm doing that around first as well, because it was at least a 4th dream, at least a 3rd dream, not the 4th. Yeah. Is that when she goes into it, Danny is alive. Danny is alive, because it's not really Danny, it's a dream manifestation. Yeah, and the Doctor goes into that dream and tries to get her out of it by him dying as well, and then Danny asks him for 5 minutes every day. Apart from that, get on with your life. That is the plot. Basically, the plot is not much. Yeah, I should have said, well, if you have seen this episode, this is the first of the 12th Doctor. You sort of got just of that from the last video, because that was being the last of the 11th Doctor. But anyway, let's just go to the notes. There's not many characters to talk about. 2, I think, maybe 3. So I'll just go for them. The Doctor, he knows that something is afoot and is trying to stop whatever is happening. Finds Clara and annoys her by insulting Danny. Yeah, that is a huge jump, but there isn't a big one. I should have said he doesn't believe in Santa, which is sort of contradictory to A Christmas Carol, because Doctor shows a picture of him, Santa, and Albert Einstein, and maybe one other guy. I don't think it's plain that he is wrong, but he isn't apparently. Yeah, and they both say to each other that they had lied to each other. Because he said to Clara, I lied about going to Gallifrey so you could spend more time with Danny, and then Clara says, I lied about Danny so you could go to Gallifrey. But it's a bluff off in a way, because they were both lying to save each other. He learns more about the dream camps. He has a basic knowledge of them, but not a lot. He goes into the dream to save Clara, via and he tells Danny what Clara should do to wake up, and he uses Santa as a stimulus to show that nothing is real. Because that's the part he points out. Why on earth would it make Santa? Because that's the part of the brain which is telling you this is not real. This is all fictitious. Everyone thanks to the doctor. Wakes up and goes home, ashamed that he's not been to see Clara in 60 years that passed, but it is in another level of dream. Second chances are rare for him, and he takes off with Clara again, which leads into the main episodes of the series. No, it doesn't really lead in, it just shows, okay, travelling again. Clara, heartbroken about Danny's death, but has begun to move on. Sees Santa and shows her disbelief in him. The doctor returns to her and is happy that he is back, but thought he would be on Gallifrey. Annoyed that he lied to her, and over that he insulted Danny as he is dead, and tells the truth to the doctor. She is put in a dream state by a dream camp where Danny is alive. The doctor enters the dream but tells him to leave. But she tells him to leave the dream, but Danny tells her to 5 minutes from him every day. And yeah, she does say this twice in the episode, that she believes in Santa Claus, right at the beginning, right at the end. But not as this stereotypical ho ho ho, but it's the doctor in a sort of weird way, isn't it? Her vision of Santa Claus. And Mr. Doctor for 62 years and turned everyone down. The only person who came close was the doctor, but it wouldn't have worked out. The doctor asks her to come with her again after exiting the last dream. And she was wondering, how on earth did this happen? He was like, how did the doctor know to go there? Yeah, because he doesn't even know who to thank. Yeah, I didn't write this down, I should have. But there's a line which is said a few times, mostly by Clara, but I think it's said once by the doctor, because every Christmas is last Christmas. And that is a very good line. I really love that line there, because that sort of shows that could foreshadow what happens. Because this is the second Christmas special with this version of Clara, but the third Christmas special with our Clara. So, and it is her last. So yeah. That is, there's not really much to say on that front. The doctor. It ties up Danny fairly well. Yeah, I think it ties up Danny's arc really well, because apart from one line, because when I was watching this yesterday, I didn't watch this the same day as I'm filming, which I usually would, but it's I didn't die saving the world, I died saving Clara, the rest of you got lucky. It's no, that's okay, fair enough, Clara is your significant other, they're not married, they're not partners, official partners, they're just boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, they might have been fiance, engaged to each other, but that would have been it. What I don't like is he says, okay, I'd rather save Clara than the entirety of the human race. That's basically what he's saying. And the rest of them got lucky. I was like, no, I don't think Danny would do that, even though I think from his time as a soldier he would know that just because he loves one person doesn't mean he can't save he ultimately does save the world, which is fine, but I don't like he was only doing it to save Clara, because that undermines him. If it was him to save the entire world, but Clara is lucky, that would have been better, or they just didn't have that line in it at all, because that line I really hate. But apart from that, it's a really good way to tie Danny Pink's character arc up really well. Because they didn't really, they did try to do it well in the Series 8 finale, Dark Water, Death in Heaven, especially him sending the kid back into the real world instead of him. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's good. This is a good time. Yeah. So, what would I rank this episode? I am thinking either a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Can't remember. Do I have any 7s on the list? How many bright is a 7? Do I like this? I'd say this is... it's fairly enjoyable, yeah. Some parts were a little bit complicated, what? Like I said last time, it's meant to be a Christmas episode. It's not like the Christmas episode or the Festive episode, so you can just join in and watch it, this one episode, even if you're not a Doctor Who fan. But the one I reviewed last, was too reliant on the past series, which is good, but in a way, but it didn't treat them right. Like, it didn't give them enough time. And I should have said this in the video last time, but originally Stephen Moffat's plan was to actually have Series 8 as the last series of Matt Smith as the Doctor, with that Series 8 being set on Trenzalore and encompassing the 900 years he spent there, and the time the Doctor would only set some of it up. I think that would have been better, especially when they were dealing with the Series 5 and Series 6 storylines, and they just brushed them off. Like, they were just one sentence. No, that's not enough. They needed to give us more than that. If they did that, that only didn't happen because Matt Smith didn't want to do another series of the Doctor. Which, I understand that, but that actually sort of ties into this in a way. Yeah, because Jenna Coleman was originally going to leave in Death in Heaven, because that's why they had that cliffhanger, I think. Like, no. Actually, no. Maybe not that, but this was... if that wasn't the case, this was going to be her last episode last Christmas. That ending, that old ending, was the original ending, but Jenna Coleman said she didn't want any regrets in her, have any regrets in the future, so she continued. She said she wanted to do a bit more. I think Stephen Moffat and Capaldi convinced her when they were doing the Series 8 World Tour and to stay for one more series, and she did. Yeah, the thing is, I wish that had happened with Matt Smith, because it would have been nice, because we only got 10 episodes of the 11 and Clara. So if we had got what the Series 8 we got, and the Series 8 with Matt, that would have made her have a load of episodes, but I wouldn't mind that if that meant there was more chemistry between 11 and Clara, because there was only 10 episodes. Yeah, because you can't count the snowman, even if she had her name Billing in it, that's not the same version, so it's only from Bell's on St. John to the time of the Doctor. Yeah, so I'm going to put this at 6. Just because of the of making it a little bit too complicated, not overly complicated like the last measure was. So yeah, I'd say this one is a 6 out of 10. So yeah, thank you everyone, and that is my review of Series 9 episode X or 0 of Your American Last Christmas. Stick around for my next review, which will be of Series 9 episode 13, The Husbands of River Song. Now that, you're in for a treat for that one. So I think without further ado, adios, and Mr. Scarlo